Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to EGFC Season 2, Week 16. My name is George GNC Overton, joined by Stan Greyheart Barker. We've got some fantastic action coming up for you guys today, but we don't really have much time to talk about it because we're getting straight into game.
Straight in there, we're going to be going into Fairfield University up against St. John's University in a match billed as one happening right now.
It is indeed billed as happening right now, and it is going to be St. John's University playing as the... Okay, so I think the score sheets are the wrong way round. We'll have to deal with that as it goes, but it is France versus France.
Oh, what a plot twist that is. As we see Mbappe, as always, running down, trying to find the opening goal of the day. Not quite going to happen due to the strong defence of his countrymen. But the goalkeeper's throw out is not a good one. Almost leads to the opening goal.
It does indeed. While I just sort this out, it looks like there's going to be another chance coming straight down the other end.
I'll tell you, it's an action-packed game, and it is a goal to start things off. It is going to be Anthony Martial starting off the celebrations in style for either Fairfield or St. John's.
Yeah, so I think it's that one was for St. John's in the end.
Gotcha.
Fairfield they're the away team. So Fairfield are in the white kit, and St. John's University will be in the blue kit for France. So to start things off, how are you this week, Stan?
I'm great. I'm glad to be back casting FIFA with you as always, George. And we've got ourselves an absolutely huge match starting things off. This is our second and third seeded teams in the table at the moment, both of them just below Marquette, and they are delivering the action in a big way already.
Yeah, definitely. The early goal, really nice to see. Obviously, hopefully we get a lot of the same action. Looks like there's going to be a bit of a planned corner. Pogba running in at the near post will be knocked away. And welcome back, obviously, to all of you that have been joining us regularly at EGF Season 2, Week 16, getting very close to the finals now, or the quarterfinals, should we say, which will be happening, I think, on Week 17. I think we start next week, right? Or is it the week after?
Well, starting up very soon for sure. We already know the teams who are most of the teams that are going to be representing there. In fact, I believe we know all of them. However, the seedings are going to be relevant. People wanting to claim those first, second spots, getting themselves perhaps an easier match in the start of the quarterfinals. Right now, good aggression coming through from St. John's. They're just above Fairfield in the standings. Currently, they're above them in the scoreline as well.
Yeah, I think it's really important for the top teams to obviously get the highest seed possible so they can come up against some of the stronger teams. Obviously, I'm sure St. John's and Fairfield will want to try and come up against the likes of Xavier or William & Mary. Chance here for, though, Fairfield looking for the shot. Mbappe will get pushed out wide by Varane. It's a good bit of defending. Once again, 17 minutes in so far. It's been very end-to-end. Could be anybody's game, but that's a great ball down the wing.
Absolutely incredible through ball leads to Mbappe having the one-on-one opportunity. He converts it. It's 2-0. What a start for St. John's.
He's going to get that little dance out again. The classic Mbappe and Neymar dance. I hate to see it because it's a really triggering one. I think it's like the longest celebration in the game. And I think that's what the next one that's going to be removed because it's kind of ridiculous. But we've actually had a bit of a meta shift since we last all saw each other on console. On FIFA 21. It was before...
Talk to us about the changes then, George.
Yeah, so before it was a bit about bridges. All about the bridge move, you know. I've forgotten even how to do it now. It's that irrelevant. Double tapping the right bumper or R1. But now it's all about... I'm not really sure what we call it at this moment. We call it a kind of a layoff touch kind of thing. So you would hold in the R1 and L1 or the right bumper and left bumper on Xbox. And you'll push your right stick to the direction you want to go, and it's like a really fast bridge. It's really OP.
Right now, the team that's OP is Fairfield as they get one back for the second time this game. Sloppy defending, poor clearance out of St. John's. This time it leads to a goal.
It does indeed. Really nice goal once again. But just coming back to that, yeah, so you hold RB, R1, R2, R1, L1, and you push your right analog stick towards the direction you want to go. And it basically does a really fast bridge move. You can also use it to push it through the opponent's legs, so you get the nutmeg effect. There are lots of things you can use it for, but basically the pros are now using that instead of the bridge, and that's pretty much it. That is a really, really interesting change to everything because it just makes everything a bit faster. The bridge was nerfed a while ago, but now we've found this out. Everybody's going to be using it. Another chance maybe for Fairfield. Good tackle. Should be cleared away fairly easily, and they will do that.
I'd love your thoughts on this one, George, but it feels to me that even though St. John's have got themselves the lead and had two terrific goals, maybe even looking for a third here, Fairfield have actually had the majority of the play. Yet again, though, St. John's, they're the ones attacking, forcing a corner.
Yeah, I think it's obviously very early to talk about the possession, but I definitely do think that Fairfield have played well so far. They've definitely done a good job considering they're 2 goals down, not to let their heads drop too much. I feel like this game is really close and it really could go anybody's way so far, but obviously we'll have to see. So far, though, I do feel like Fairfield are slightly edging it. We'll have to see, obviously, as the game delves deeper, but they've definitely had more of the more possession play and definitely had a few more chances. But we'll see what what St John's have got to say about this.
Well, right now, what they're saying is they want to get into the opposition's half, but that play has been broken apart once again, as we see Mbappe trying to find the end of this pass. Not quite going to happen. It's Pogba starting the counter up.
He is indeed. He's going to play the ball through for Mbappe. It's a good tackle, though, in the end. I think that was Kante. I'm not too sure who it was, to be honest. Ben Yedder on the ball, however, for Fairfield. And if you are a fan of Ultimate Team, we have had some nice content today. We've had a couple of repeatable packs. So there are repeatable SBCs in the store, or in the SBC store, which you can do 83 plus player, which is an 82 rated squad, 30 chemistry. All 11 have to be. They don't all have to be rare. It's just a rating requirement. And then we've got the 81 plus double upgrade, which is 7 rares, I think, and 4 commons. So really nice to do. Obviously, if you've been looking for some repeatables, and you can start to save up for Foot Birthday, which will be starting this Friday, hopefully.
Maybe that's a cue for me to get started on my ultimate team for the year. As we see the offside trap catching out St. John's in their attempt to get a third goal, throwing the slide tackle, try and divert a pass, but nice cut inside coming through from Fairfield. They run it down the right wing, taking on Luca Dean is going to be Kingsley Coman. Bayern Munich versus Everton, national team against national team, of course, and it's been quite an interesting week in real life football as well. We've got Paul Pogba on the pitch, who's obviously had mixed results for themselves this week, getting through to the UEFA League semi-finals, but missing out on the FA Cup, and also Liverpool finding out their opposition for the Champions League, which I'm sure you're excited about, George.
I am actually. I feel like that's probably one of the easier opponents for us to get, to be honest. I feel like Real Madrid, as of late, haven't been the dominant force that they used to be. But at the halftime whistle, we're going to see St. John's taking a 2-1 lead against Fairfield. Fairly decent game so far. But talking about, obviously, in real life football, there have been a lot of upsets. I think a big upset was West Ham taking a 3-0 lead in 28 minutes, and then Arsenal somehow pulling it back for a lead. But as you can see there, only 1 shot and 1 goal for Fairfield.
Yeah, it feels like they've had more, but the defence has been good in the final third from St. John's, which is why they find themselves with a lead. The team who are higher up in the standings currently doing better in terms of goals in this game as well. Little small changes being made from the tactical side of things, as we do see the half-time whistle having already been blown. And going back to that Champions League draw, George, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that I honestly believe that the 4 best teams left in out of the 8 teams there are all on one side of the draw and will all face each other before the final.
Yeah, I feel like that as well. Just out of curiosity, who are your top 2 in the top 2 in Liverpool side? Are you a Porto or are you Chelsea man?
As in, who would be going to the semi-finals on that side? Do you think?
Yeah.
My gut instinct says Chelsea, Real Madrid, purely because I think Liverpool have just been on such a decline lately, and I worry about them even with Real Madrid's poor form. Though I would love to see a Chelsea-Liverpool semi-final. I do believe Chelsea will have enough to take on Porto. Under Tuchel, they seem to have really sorted out their defence, much like St. John's defence in this game. Over on the other side, I mean, it's absolutely tremendous. You've got these 4 monstrous teams in PSG, Dortmund, Bayern Munich, and Manchester City, and I mean, if there'd been any other draw for Bayern Munich and Man City, I would have been saying they're definitely going to the final. But now we're in a position where, obviously, we can't see both of those teams get there. So we'll see what happens. What do you think?
It's a bit of a shame, really, because obviously, that's probably the final we deserved. Like the year where we probably should have had, what was it? A lot of people saying we should have had a Barcelona-Ajax final instead of the Liverpool-Spurs final. I feel that way as well. I personally wanted to see potentially a Liverpool-Ajax or a Liverpool-Barcelona final. I don't think Spurs should have gone through. I don't rate Spurs as a football team. I really do not like Spurs. I just never have rated their squad really. And there is a shot and there is a goal. What a fantastic goal that is from the main man himself. It's Kylian Mbappe. That's 3 goals for St. John's and it's a hat-trick for Kylian Mbappe.
If you're out there in the Twitch chat and you're going to be playing FIFA on our stream at some point, how do you get the casters to stop chatting about real life and get them back on FIFA? Score a goal like that. St. John's turning it on in the second half.
Indeed, what a fantastic goal it was from Mbappe. Obviously, has no right to score from outside of the box like that as well. Just underneath the crossbar. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. And honestly, he's just a dream player in FIFA. He's got all that finishing. He's got the pace. He's got the dribbling. It's just absolute monster card. But here is another chance, potentially.
Yeah, we'll talk about this one first. Martial one-on-one with the keeper. Takes it on the outside of the foot. Palmed away by Hugo Lloris. Defence comes in clutch for Fairfield as they deny St. John's from taking any further of a lead in this game.
Close once again. Very, very close. Almost got taken away from him. But, yeah, it's just... Heung-min Son's really good. Like I really like Heung-min Son. But Kane, I don't really rate Kane. I think he's way overhyped. Chance.
Oh, I'll disagree with you on that one. We'll come on to it in a minute because right now we've got to talk about someone who has a huge amount of hype. Kingsley Coman, yet again, doing the business.
Oh my word, Fairfield, this is starting to get a little bit embarrassing. 4-1. Obviously, they tightened their defence up in the first half, but coming into the second half, they're just conceding. You know, it feels like they're just conceding left, right, and centre. There's still a long way to go in this game as well. So, just go on then. Your opinions on Kane?
So my opinions on Harry Kane are basically that I legitimately believe he's a fantastic striker. I think he's the closest thing we've seen to an Alan Shearer-esque sort of player, certainly in an England shirt for a very, very long time. But when I look at the positions and like his heat maps on the pitch, especially when he's playing against strong opposition, he seems to spend considerably more time, not only in his own half, but in his own defensive third than he does in the opposition half. And when you're being forced into doing that, rather than being a target man, being a poacher going in for goals, it's going to be tough for you. I mean, if you ask Jamie Vardy to do work as a centre-back at times, he's not going to bang in as many goals as he does. And I think Harry Kane is misused in that squad too often. You saw it in the game against Arsenal. He had one attacking touch in the first 60 minutes. And that says it all for me.
It's Jose Mourinho's football. He's just
absolutely.
He's such a defensive-minded coach, and it does work.
And it's the reason they went out the Europa League as well.
Yeah. I 100% fully agree, and the problem is with Harry Kane, he's a big lad. He's a big boy, he's probably fairly heavy as well. You'd have thought because he's probably got quite a lot of muscle on him. So asking him to do a box to box job as a striker, it's not going to happen. You've just got to let him not sit up front, but you've got to let him. You can't be running him around like a cow.
Which unfortunately is the position where if you're going to allow just seconds, we've got a really nice break, great pass through to Martial, his second one-on-one. Again, plays it into Lloris, almost put into the back of their own net by the French defender there for Fairfield, but it is cleared away. When you have Kane, and if you need someone who's going to do defensive duties like that, maybe not as a striker, but just on your team, that's where you can't afford to have someone like Gareth Bale start. And when you start with a lineup that includes Bale, Moura, Son, and Kane, and you're asking people like Kane and Moura and Son to be running themselves ragged because Bale, frankly, isn't doing anything, that's where you can't afford a luxury player like Bale. When you're playing a team that you know you can be aggressive against and you don't have to worry so much about sending so many players back, that's when Bale is absolutely magical.
Well, not that, and if you've got a good defence, which Spurs do not have. They've got Davinson Sanchez, okay, decent defender, chance, good save. They've got Alderweireld, again, decent defender, but, they're nothing special, they're not world-class footballers, which, if you have those world-class footballers, your strikers don't need to come back. Look at Liverpool. You don't see Salah and Mane, I'm talking last season when Liverpool were Salah. You don't see Salah and Mane coming back to defend every time the opponent attacks, because you've got Van Dijk and Gomez there. You've got Alexander-Arnold, Robertson, Fabinho and Henderson all defending. They don't need the strikers to come back, and that's one thing that Spurs don't have. They don't have a good enough defence to not be able to pull the strikers back.
St. John's, however, they do decide to pull the strikers back. There was a moment there where they had 10 men behind the ball on that corner, and as a result, they're able to win possession, but they are being pegged back into their own half as Fairfield try to find themselves another goal, try to at least reduce the deficit coming in to the second leg, and they found themselves a penalty.
Yeah, just... It's difficult. It's really difficult because he hasn't pressed the B button. He hasn't pressed anything. It's just the players kind of stood his ground, and he's knocked him down to the ground from behind. It's just, there's nothing you can really do. But we're going to see which way he's going to go from the penalty. He is turning the target off, even though we have stream delays. Going to go straight down the middle, just as Greyheart said, and it is now going to be 4-2. Potential route for a comeback for Fairfield.
It is indeed. Both of these halves, 2-1 in favour of St. John's. Second left, potentially we have a change around of players who are going to be handling the controlling these players. And again, Fairfield are having to do a decent bit of defending. I think this is going to go out for a goal kick in the end.
Yeah, I'd like to see a ban on France next season. I'd like to see a ban on
France and PSG.
Yeah, France and PSG. Nah, just France. PSG aren't OP. France are very OP.
Okay.
It'll be interesting to see though, because I think next season when we come back, I think we'll be on a new FIFA again, because I think we start in October-ish time apparently. So it'll be interesting to see if we're at FIFA 22 then, which is weird to say because I feel like it's only just come out. And Mbappe with a shot, can't get anything on it. It's the goalkeeper that's made the save. I think it was off his back. I don't think it was much of a save, but inadvertent block maybe.
It was a beautiful bit of footwork coming through. Fairfield not quite able to reduce the deficit to 1. They are going to break up the play again. They've got 5 minutes left on the clock if they do want to get something in this leg. It's going to be Mbappe breaking forward once more, rolling the ball through to Andy Marshall. He's done great work at the other end of the pitch. Now he feeds through Mbappe, but the strength of Varane is just too much.
That's always it, isn't it? It's the strength of Varane. Absolute animal. But I will tell you something that you'll probably like to hear, because I know we always talk about him when we see France versus France. Olivier Giroud has there is a chance it's side netting. He has a objective card in FIFA Ultimate Team currently, and he has an absolute monster of a card. It's 90 rated. He has 85 pace, 90 shooting, 85 dribbling, really good passing. He is an absolute animal.
Big fan of Olivier, and always happy to see him starting up. And it's Fairfield there who are caught out by the offside trap. Moments left in this game. It's just down to St. John's to run down the clock, but they give away possession very, very cheaply. Now Fairfield have the opportunity to attack Marshall to reduce the deficit to 1 on the stroke of full time. Side netting only. We will go into the second leg, 4-2.
Oh no! How has he missed that? That's an absolute nightmare if you ask me. He should have been scoring that one. Really should have been scoring that one, to be honest. That had goal written all over it. He did everything right. The ball roll into the shot, but obviously couldn't get the shot on target. A little bit unfortunate maybe. But either way, that is the full-time whistle being blown, and we will be going into the next leg at 4-2, Fairfield versus St. John's. Fantastic first game.
Absolutely, all of the sort of action that you would expect from these two teams who are so near the top of the table, really duking it out, and giving me a lot to think about as we get towards the playoffs, because this is a potential even semi-final matchup that we could end up seeing. And if that were to be the case, even though we see St. John's edging it here much as they are in the actual overall standings, it's by far a done deal.
Yeah, very true. It is, I feel like, Fairfield need to come into this next game swinging. They need to get themselves one early goal. They need to pick another team rather than France, because we don't want to see France. But yeah, it's going to be difficult for them. Obviously, St. John came out styling, styling, profiling, limousine, riding, the lot, Woo! They obviously looked really, really good. And it'll be interesting to see how they get on. But before we hit that second leg, I think we need to sort out the stream. So we will be back in a few moments' time. Go grab yourselves a drink and we'll be right back with some more EGF action.
Welcome back, everybody. Stanley Greyheart Barker, joined by George GNC Overton. We're bringing you the second leg of St. John's up against Fairfield. St. John's coming into this one with a 4-2 head start, and yet again, looks like we're seeing the France mirror matchup.
Yeah, once again, we're seeing the matchup that we don't really want to see. It's a bit of a shame because nobody wants to see it, but we're going to see it anyway. But either way, it looks like we have had a change of players. We're going to see Blue Champs coming in for St. John's University, and it will be Fairfield now hosting the game. So once again, I've got to switch the scoreboards around.
I'll let you do that, and meanwhile, we'll see the attacks coming through. Bit of defence to be done early on for St. John's. And a big shout out to Bolter, who did fantastic production on League of Legends just the other day, joining us in the Twitch chat. And to anybody else who is out there lurking as well, we wish you the heartiest of Mondays.
See, they're just embarrassing me. They're embarrassing me. The production man comes in and now he's going to be thinking, oh, who is this noob? Who is this noob doing the production? He doesn't even have the teams ready. But look,
hey,
it's FIFA's hard. FIFA's hard, okay?
I think if Bolter had been casting League at the same time as producing it the other day, then maybe he could have had a go at you. But as it is, we're going to cut you some slack, George. You're doing a terrific job. Early attacking options again coming through for St. John's, much as we saw in the last game.
Yes, indeed. St. John's obviously in the blue kit, much matching their badge and logo, and Fairfield will be in the white kit as Fairfield look for an attack of their own. Can't quite find anything this time, however.
They're taking the ball forward, finding the ball to the edge of the penalty area. Play broken up yet again by this solid French defence. The one thing I do like about seeing the mirror matchup of France v France is at least both teams are playing, they're on a completely level playing field. It becomes about the player skill, and you can't go, oh, well, they just had the better team. Oh, they had Mbappe and I didn't. It's at least going, okay, we've got exactly the same tools to work with. Interesting question coming in from Victor Geronimo 10 in the chat. What teams would we want to see playing rather than France?
I'd like to see, your Liverpool's, your Bayern Munich's, potentially Germany's. Obviously, I understand that they're not particularly meta, but there is a chance for Mbappe shot comers outstayed by Hugo Lloris. I'd like to see my Bayern Munich's, your Dortmunds. Obviously, I know these players aren't very meta. Sancho, Haaland, not particularly in the meta, but we're at a point in the esports kind of like tier list where these players are really good players, but we're not at the tippity top right here. So I don't think these teams need to be particularly worried about the meta players. Obviously it helps, but I'd rather see them go out, have some fun, use some different teams every so often. We do get to see that, but obviously at the higher end of the table we do see a lot of France PSGs.
I think the most interesting one we've got to cast this split so far, probably when we had the Netherlands up against Liverpool. So that was a fun matchup for sure. The one thing I do like about, like I say, I think if you're competing at the higher levels of EGF here, and we've got these two teams currently second and third in the standings, it makes sense they go for these bigger teams. I mean, if you're going to have a drag race and you've got the option of being, in a beaten up old, VW or something, or driving in a Maserati, you know which one you're going to choose. And sticking Mbappe at the spearhead of your attack, having Varane bolstering your defence, these are things that you can't really blame teams for opting into.
No, definitely not. You can't blame them because obviously they're really, really good players to have, and they obviously increase your chances of winning significantly.
Yeah, exactly.
Chance in the area. Pogba's got the ball. Going to look for that curling effort towards the back post. Does get blocked, however. They will retain possession, though, and they can look to build up the attack slowly but surely.
Yeah, that's something they have been doing. They've had all of the pressure so far being applied to Fairfield. St. John's again breaking through into the opposite area. Little backheel doesn't quite work as an assist. Lloris forced into a save, however, ball brought inside. And now it is the opportunity for Fairfield to find a bit of a counter. They need to find themselves a goal. 30 minutes into this second leg, and they're still 2 goals behind.
Yeah, in that attack we just saw, we did see the bridge move come out. Obviously, it has been nerfed, but it does work if you know the situations to use it in. It still can be very, very effective. There is a really good chance here, though, for St. John's coming in on that left-hand side of the wing. Will retain the ball, but it's going to go out for a corner kick. I was going to say throw-in. Don't know why.
Throw-in feels unlikely on that one, but yeah, it's going to be the corner. It's put into the box. Lloris comes out, big fist, and straight out into open terrain once again. And we see Victor Geronimo saying, well, he's going to make sure to use Liverpool next week for us. And I'm sure George, especially as a big Liverpool fan, will be delighted with that one, Victor Geronimo. You may have made a friend end there. Bolter asking why they're both using France. Well, basically what we were just talking about there. Some of the strongest players in the game, probably the best attacker, one of the best defenders, and we've just seen why there. What a great goal. Kylian Mbappe, one of the best players in the game, bangs it in.
They haven't swapped who's hosting the game. They've just swapped kits.
Are you serious?
They're so evil. They're so evil.
Was that Fairfield?
Yep, that was Fairfield.
Oh, I'm no. I have no words. They've lost my respect.
Right. So for clarification for everybody, Soccer Scout plays for Fairfield, and Blue Champs plays for St. John's. I'm sorting it out currently. I understand the confusion. Fairfield versus Fairfield. I get it. They've snaked me. They've snaked us. They've bamboozled is the word.
Utterly bamboozled, but that goal so important, and actually says that Fairfield have come out to play because they're the ones who actually have had more possession. They have found themselves a goal to reduce the deficit to 4-3 on aggregate, and they are attacking. Another opportunity coming through from Mbappe. He is denied this time round. Bolter, our league and many other games production god, says he thinks he could beat these guys. Well, go out there and prove it for us. Derry says they're goal 2 for Manhattan College, and we were having a discussion of the various ELOs last week, and goal 2, pretty solid, right, George?
Yeah, it's about middle ground. You know, goal 2 is where I'd expect most players, not most players to finish, but that's where I'd expect a good FIFA player to finish. You know, if you say, yeah, I'm good at the game, I'd expect you to get goal 2, gold 1 kind of standard. I personally get gold 2 when I play Weekend League. I've hit gold 1 once this year, which is, I would say the gold 2 is the equivalent of hitting, I would say, platinum on League of Legends, maybe. Sort of that kind of ground. But there's a chance for Mbappe, and that's going to be the goal. We are level. We are all level here at 4-4 on aggregate. Fairfield have done it. They've made the comeback, and Blue Champs, you know, it's a bit nervy because he gave them the lead, gave them the 4-2 lead going into the second leg, and he's thrown it away so far.
And on the stroke of half-time, what an incredible goal. As always, it's going to be N'Golo Kante pulling strings, much like he did for Chelsea in the Champions League. It was like there were 3 of him on the pitch at times in that match, and he's doing great work here. We see Fairfield pulling it back to 4 goals apiece with only 45 minutes of open play left in this match. 2 words for you, George. Game on.
Game is well and truly on here. We'll see if who's going to win the match at the end of it, though, because we can potentially go to a golden goal. I do want to remind you all about that because obviously we love golden goals. We really do. Golden goals are the best thing about pro FIFA or whatever you want to call it, competitive FIFA. Currently moving into the second half. It's anybody's game. We're at level pegging. Anybody can win now. And we'll see, because Blue Champs hasn't really had a chance in this second leg.
Yeah, this game has been all Fairfield. At least it has been since we changed the nameplates round. St. John's with an opportunity to break forward. Blue Champs trying to get themselves a goal, trying to get the lead once again, but things not looking good right now for St. John's. Fairfield consistently attacking, have the opportunity to break through, and Mbappe buries it into the sideboard.
Oh, that's so frustrating to see. He's done the ball roll, done everything right, but can't put it away. I'm not too sure what's going on because it's the 3rd time he's missed that opportunity. Maybe needs to go for the ball roll the other way. I'm not too sure. I don't know. Maybe he should switch it up from the finesse to the straight power. Difficult.
I was so sure that was going in that I had to invent the word sideboard when it missed. I mean, that was quite something, and perhaps it's going to be a moment that comes back to bite Fairfield come the end of the match. St. John's certainly looking more positive since that miss.
I think they're called barricades, advertisement boards.
Advertising hoardings where I really wanted to go, but I definitely didn't get there.
Your brain was going one way, your mouth was going the other way.
My brain was
going what a goal from Blue Champs, and it is going to be St. John's giving themselves the lead. The first shot they've had in the game, I'm fairly certain, and what a screamer it is!
My brain went to goal, and so did St. John's. They retake the lead 5-4 on aggregate 60 minutes almost played. Fairfield, who missed a golden opportunity to go ahead themselves for the first time in this tie, must be kicking themselves.
Somebody get the fire department, because there is an absolute flames going on in this match. It is heating up.
Get the Fire Force, George.
Get the Fire Force. You won't understand. It's an inside joke. The Fire Force. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
Oh, dear me. It's an opportunity for Kingsley Coman to break on the right-hand side. We saw him picking up a goal in the first leg for St. John's, now aggressing for Fairfield, but the play broken open yet again. Mendy trying to do defensive work, trying to get Coman back in possession, but somehow Marshall actually doing work in his own half.
Yeah, does a really good job as well, actually. It's going to be cleared away all the way down the other end. Pause is going to be cued by Soccer Scale, the Fairfield player. He's going to look to bring on some subs. Obviously, as he has, he's lost the lead now. St. John's are back in front. He's been on the front foot this whole game. I'm sure he is a little bit frustrated.
Yeah, you can understand that, but the defence seems to have sharpened up now for St. John's. I don't think they especially have looked like scoring again since retaking the lead, but I think they've looked a lot less like conceding as well.
Yeah, I think they've looked a lot stronger defensively since they obviously scored. But, still, it's been a really bad game from St. John's. They haven't looked very good at all, but I guess the best teams get a win even when they're playing bad. I think that's the important thing to take away. When a good team, when the best team is having a bad day and they still get the win, still pick up the dub, that's why they're the best team.
What I'm loving here is the play being retained by St. John's, and it's just delaying the pause that was cued by Soccer Scout, and this means they're not able to make those tactical changes, not able to get the fresh legs on quite so quickly. Attack now, however, coming through for Fairfield as they try to get themselves level in the tie. Yet again, Kylian Mbappe 1v1, beautiful tackle, last ditch coming in, denying the goal.
Once again, slowed it down. Keep the pace. Run it at the near post. Smash it in at the near post in that situation. Just keep going. You've got the momentum with you. Lenglet isn't catching up to you. He's not fast at all. You need to just keep going as Kylian Mbappe. Run it at the near post. On Kylian's left foot, just smash it as hard as you can at the near post, obviously without it going over. And it should be a goal. It's unfortunate. But we see a lot of people do it way too often.
Sometimes you just wonder if it's not your day, and that might be how Fairfield are feeling right now, having missed that golden opportunity to take the lead, having given up the lead to an absolute screamer from Mbappe. St. John's, of course, taking the lead once again. And remember, they had that screamer in the first leg from Mbappe from outside the box in off the crossbar as well. Two truly magical goals are the difference between winning and losing right now.
Exactly. They were magical indeed. They were both absolute screamers, and this is why this game means a lot. There's a lot on the line here, and you can tell because it is getting hot. Here we go. Ben Yedder on the ball. He's got Mbappe running alongside him, but they need to break the defence. They haven't managed to do it yet. Could have looked for the pass there, but it's difficult. It does look like there will be a chance here.
They've pulled the ball back a little bit. Still on the attack, though.
Griezmann on the ball. Good tackle from Benjamin Mendy. We'll be able to get it clear. Blue Champs he looked rough in the early knock-ins of this game. He needs to defend resiliently. He's lost the ball. It's a really bad situation. I think he's offside. Mbappe with the shot. He is offside. He pulled the pass back. It was that little delay of reactions, that little hesitation that gave him the chance to pull the defenders forward a little bit and get the offside trap off. That's really unfortunate. Constant pressure. Here we go.
A piece of exciting news for me and a piece of exciting news for St. John's with that pause finally having come through. I'm back to not seeing the game in 8-bit, which I had for the last couple of minutes. And St. John's are finally able to make the changes they have wanted to make for 25 minutes of open play. Haven't had the opportunity to do that since queuing things up. Finally, coming into these last 5 minutes, they make the changes. The question is, will those subs have arrived in time?
Yes, because they're now coming on, but will they have the impact? Will they have the impact that is required? That is the real question, because Blue Champs could potentially now just run it into the corner, time wasted up. It's been a close game. I don't think anybody would blame him for doing so. Coman on the ball, though. Is he going to look for the attack? It looks like he will. No, turns back inside. Too many players there. Passes it back to Mendy. And it looks like he's just going to hold on to the lead.
Clever play, just making sure of that win. Pogba holding up the ball, forcing Kante to come out and meet him, running it all the way to the sideline. Going to be able to find himself towards the corner as well. Full time has now elapsed. Little pass into the box is met. This could be the very last play of the game. 20 seconds left remaining. We see Mbappe, the opportunity to break, needs to find the through ball, needs to find it now, but the ball Rafael Varane's legs, and it's going to be the full-time whistle blown. It is going to be victory for St. John's by the narrowest of margins.
And there it is, St. John's University taking it home with the 5-4 win. It's absolutely incredible stuff. They weren't looking great. I'll be honest with you. They were not looking good in that second game, but they pulled it back. They got the dub. They got the result. That is all that matters when it comes down to the wire.
And how often do we see this on FIFA and in real life matches? One team spurns a golden opportunity at one end, the other team scores down the other end, and that's the difference. Life and death, winning and losing. Victory comes in for St. John's, and St. John's, as a result, they put themselves in a position where they are well and truly clear up alongside Marquette at the top of the table.
Yeah, they are. I think they're safe now.
I think they overtake them, Marquette now.
Oh, do they?
I think that makes it 12-2 for them and 11-3 for Marquette.
Oh, so St. John's are ahead of Marquette now.
Unless I've misread the table, which is a possibility.
That is very, very interesting to know. Obviously, because Marquette, they do have a game today. We're going to have a look at the schedule real quick. So, sorry, Marquette not going to have a game today.
No, Marquette have the bye.
They have the bye this week, so I think they might tie up. I'm not sure, but either way.
I think that's already been added onto their games. The ones I'm looking at show both Marquette and St. John's with 14 apiece having been played now, 12-2 and 11-3.
Okay, very interesting stuff. So going into the final week before we have the championship week is the penultimate, obviously, week, which is absolutely massive. So important for Fairfield to get the win and retain. Sorry, St. John's to get the win and retain that top seed. But as you can see, Xavier University, William and Mary was postponed this week. Xavier having some ongoing issues on campus, so that will be played at a later date. But obviously we've got Manhattan College versus Niagara still to come up for you guys.
And that, by the way, also an exceptionally hyped game. That's going to be our teams that are currently in 4th and 5th in the league, 8 and 6 and 7 and 7 respectively. So that could all just go down to the wire as well, George.
Exactly. It's playing for the seeds, which is very, very important. But we are going to get back to you on that one straight after this break. Go grab yourselves a drink and a snack. We'll be back in a moment. Oh, okay. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. You did not see you did not see this what was going on, and it seems we would have a goal in the game. It is going to be Niagara taking the lead. You did not see anything.
I mean, I think that Manhattan right now are hoping we didn't see anything. What was that? A calamitous own goal, I think, at the end.
Not only that, and it would appear, scratch of the beard. It would appear we have the teams the wrong way around once again because they have swapped sides once again. Thank you very much, guys. I appreciate it.
Why you do this to me? So much going wrong and so soon into the stream.
Such.
Oh, no. Well, all I know is this time we are going to get to see Liverpool, but yet again we are seeing France. France have the early lead after that calamitous misfortune for Liverpool, something that has seemed to describe their season so far, and now they find themselves under pressure again. Trent Alexander-Arnold able to find dispossession that starts a counter-attack. Jordan Henderson bringing the ball forward.
Indeed, Liverpool is Handels' main choice when it comes to teams. No, surely not. That is not a penalty. Oh my god!
The ref disagrees with you, George.
Oh, bloody gingers can't get any good ones nowadays. Obviously, the referee having ginger hair, but there is going to be a penalty. It's going to go down the middle. It's saved. Thank goodness.
It always goes down the middle.
But
it always goes down the middle.
That wasn't a penalty, so he did not deserve to score it. So I'm glad the goalkeeper saved it.
Even though it was against Liverpool. Well, all I know is we've got ourselves a bizarre game on our hands right now. Frankly, I was expecting Hugo Lloris just to open up his arms and let that one fly into the goal from the least power in the history of the world.
But it's for 5th or 6th. This game does have a lot of meaning to it.
It does. It means so much. And yet it's so crazy.
Well, I'd have it no other way. I love crazy games of FIFA.
We love crazy in general here at Official EGF, bringing you all of the action. One more week of regular play after this one, but the teams are fighting it out, trying to get these places locked in. Both these teams trying to get themselves a higher seeding around about the 5th or 6th mark. At the minute, it's very much so Manhattan who are in the ascendancy.
Good tackle from Fabinho, I think that was. Whipped into the area, cleared away by Fabinho once again. And as you can see, the pitch does look a little bit different to what it normally would. It appears as we have the NFL lines on our field, but there's a chance for Griezmann. Good tackle from Van Dijk. Yeah, it seems like we have the 20, the 10, the 30. So yeah, it would seem we have NFL labels, whatever you want to call them, markings on the pitch.
We have to be careful talking about NFL, otherwise we get people in chat saying that we're playing soccer in a moment, and we're not dealing with that. We are not dealing with that. You a fan of NFL at all, George?
No. I prefer rugby, real man's game.
Oh, there's been some interesting stories with that in the last couple of weeks. But right now, let's focus on the story of Liverpool attacking, trying to find an equaliser in this game. Not quite happening for them though. Did you watch the Wales-France drama?
I did not. I tend to watch the England games, but I tend to not watch the rest of them. I'll be honest. Nothing against it. I like all the rugby, but why? What happened out of curiosity?
Oh, it was quite a crazy game. First, France had a man. So they were basically France needed to win and win with a bonus try to have any chance of going into their delayed match, having any chance to stop Wales from not only winning the Grand Slam, which they would have won had they beaten France, but also just winning the Six Nations in general. And France had a man sent off fairly early into the match for eye gouging, which is unpleasant. And then Wales then went on to have 2 men sin-binned with a yellow card, so it ended up being a 14 versus 13 match, and France scored a last-minute try, not only to win that match and deny the Grand Slam, but also to secure the bonus point, which means they could still win the Six Nations against Scotland later in this week. There's also a whole furore going on around that because that match was originally cancelled due to a COVID outbreak where it seemed like people didn't follow COVID restrictions and people didn't think France should have even been allowed to reschedule it. Drama all around us.
Yeah, there's always going to be drama in these current times, but chance for Coman, going to take the shot, saved by Alisson. The rebound, however, and it's going to be Mbappe getting the goal, and it's going to be 2-0 to Manhattan College.
Things just not going Niagara's way at all. The first goal didn't really catch all of it, but it certainly seemed like it was an unfortunate defensive mix-up. This time, the parry from Alisson only delivering the ball into the waiting feet of the Manhattan striker. They find themselves 2-0 up at half an hour. Things looking good for Manhattan right now.
Yeah, unfortunately, Handels can't quite handle his opponent in this situation. Mbappe, the chipped, dinked goal, and Alisson's off his line. He's been made to look like a mess, and it's going to be Mbappe with another goal. And it's going to be 3-0 now to Manhattan College.
Defensively unfortunate perhaps for the first couple of goals for in terms of Niagara's standpoint on things. Delightful for Manhattan for goal number 3, however. Beautiful play yet again. Kylian Mbappe showing why so many teams like to have him. Roberto Firmino trying to find a goal but parried away by Hugo Lloris.
Yeah, could have maybe tried to take it a little bit further, but we might be having some latency issues. We did have a chat with some of the guys in the Discord a few moments ago. They were having some internet problems. So if we do have any issues on the stream, then obviously we do apologise. Transfer Martial cuts inside, no, fakes it, comes back. Fabinho with a strong tackle. And Fabinho, in my opinion, is probably the best centre defensive mid Liverpool have ever had. I think he's fantastic.
I'm trying to think who else you've had that I could maybe put in there. I was a huge fan of Didi Hamann when he was at his best. So, but it's hard to argue against Fabinho, especially considering what Liverpool have achieved with him in the team. Champions League win, Premier League win at last. Certainly things that no other defensive midfielder could say for Liverpool. So, a fair point.
I saw a post. It was like your all-time Liverpool midfield. And I personally would go for Gerrard, Xabi Alonso, and Fabinho. I rate Fabinho that high.
Interesting. Well, at the moment, let's have a little look as to whether Fabinho can prevent this attack leading to a goal. The answer is yes. Not going to be 4-0 in the lead up to half-time. I'm going to have a think about that one because even though I'm not as big a Liverpool fan as you, George, in fact, I'm not a Liverpool fan at all. My dad is a huge fan. We talk about Liverpool all the time. So I'm sure I'll be able to let you know mine in a moment. What's the criteria for that midfield? Are we looking at like 3 central midfielders or is it just the whole midfield?
3 central midfielders. You can put in...
How far back are you allowed to go?
I would say as far back as the Premier League. Yeah, I would say Premier League.
So 93.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you talk us through half time while I think what I'd put in there. What were your 3? Fabinho, Gerrard, and Alonso.
Alonso, yeah. It was a very close match for Alonso or Mascherano or Fabinho. I think Mascherano's a great player. I was also debating potentially Littmanen in there. Littmanen's a very good player. There are so many. Liverpool have had so many.
The Finnish god.
Yeah, it's true. He is the Finnish icon in Ultimate Team. But obviously the halftime break just came by us and we're now into the second half. Manhattan playing really well. 3-0. Obviously still the first leg, so plenty of time for a comeback. But Manhattan have been all over this game. All over it. Niagara they've had opportunities, but in reality they haven't really had any.
Yeah, that's a completely fair point to make. Liverpool still trying to make things happen. They've had a couple of headers where maybe they could have found the net a couple of times, possibly, but as we say, week in, week out, headers so difficult to score in FIFA 21.
They're trash. They are garbage. Nobody scores headers. Nobody scores crosses anymore. Like, you can whip them in with a low-driven cross, stuff like that, and you can score a goal from like a volley or something like that, but you never very rarely, 1 in 100 crosses maybe will go in.
Well, at the moment, I'm struggling with my bitrate that I can see, so I'm going to let you cover the action as we're seeing it.
Okay, if you just continue on that Liverpool midfield.
Yeah, I'm going to keep thinking. At the minute, I'm currently holding just for where I'm at the moment. I'm currently holding.
Mbappe cuts back inside the goal. It's going to be another one, and Manhattan just running away with this one. Mbappe running away with it. He's going to cross his arms. It's been easy for him. Honestly, it's just looked so comfortable. They haven't really been tested or tried. We're going to go into the second leg, obviously, after this game is finished, and potentially Niagara can look to make a comeback. But Manhattan have just been the way better team.
I'll take another moment or two to think about it, George. But the minute I'm sitting on Mascherano, Gerrard, and Coutinho.
I would put Coutinho up there, but the only reason why I would take him out is because he left. The terms he left on. I do rate him very highly. There's another chance for Martial. It will get taken away eventually. You support West Brom, right?
A huge West Brom fan.
My sins. I couldn't put together a midfield of all time for West Brom. I don't know. McLean.
Oh no. Okay, I'm leaving. See ya.
Right. See you later. No,
Oh, one of my most hated players. Cannot stand the guy. Oh dear.
I've forgotten
He's
what
so
the.
dirty. He's like, oh no, just no. That would
I,
have been like if I'd said Gary McAllister was one of yours.
I mean, I like Gary
He was actually
McAllister.
he was actually pretty good for you.
I like Gary McAllister. I think Gary McAllister was a great player, but
Yeah, he was.
my dad would
I'm trying to-
definitely. My dad loved Gary McAllister. He very big
I
fan.
met him a couple of times. He seemed a very, very decent bloke. Yeah, that's not a fair comment. I was trying to think of someone like a Roy Keane-esque player. That was sort of what McLean was for us, but without the skill or strength.
Well, we had Robbie Keane, but not as a midfielder, obviously.
Yeah.
I thought he was. I didn't think he was terrible at Liverpool. Obviously,
No, he was okay.
could have done better, but yeah, he was obviously we were looking to replace. I think we were looking to place Torres at that point. I think.
Maybe. Yeah.
I think that was the season before Suarez joined.
Ah, Suarez, what an absolutely incredible player he was. I mean, I just remember the time when you had him, I think it was him, Sturridge and Sterling, and it was just absolutely phenomenal to watch that attack. And it felt like Suarez drew out 3 or 4 attackers himself, meaning that Sterling and Sturridge could just do whatever they wanted.
Legit. The
yeah.
triple S.
Yeah.
Sturridge, Sterling, and Suarez. What a combination! And Coutinho when he eventually joined. Chance, and that's going to be another goal. And Manhattan, yeah, they're just running rampant in this game. They are doing whatever they want to when they want to. And unfortunately for Handles of God, well, he hasn't got a handle on this game because it is well out of reach.
As you mentioned at the beginning, certain connection issues for players, perhaps that's something that's impacting Handles negatively, but don't take it away at all from Manhattan College. They have been dominant in this game, and it does feel like one of those ties where the game may well be over before we even hit the second leg.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen too many of the error pictures. Saying that there was
seen a few yellow markers up, but not any red ones. I think
I saw one red one in the first half, but nothing crazy. Nothing that would make me go, "Oh, this is really bad. This is unplayable." But yeah, so far it's just been all Manhattan. Honestly, Handles. He's just. It's not even that I could pinpoint anything he's doing wrong. Manhattan are just playing straight up better.
It's true, and as we've sadly had to say many, many times, playing this France squad where they have so much extra strength as well, we see right there how strong the defensive unit can be, and we've seen 5 times already, perhaps the 6th coming here from Ben Yedder, how strong the attacking unit can be. It's Ben Yedder's opportunity to put this game beyond all doubt, looks for the rainbow flick, but takes it just wide of the post.
That's the nerf to the rainbow flicks, man. That is the nerf to it. Usually it will just go over your player's head, just a little bit, and it will just go over the goalkeeper, like you're chipping it over. Exactly, but now you do it and it kind of goes like 10-15 feet in front of you. It's kind of wild, but it definitely needed the nerf. It was very strong.
Victor Geronimo wondering if we're playing NFL or FIFA here. Well, we are definitely on the FIFA game, but it's going to be one of those pitches where you see the remnants of the NFL lines put down as they were for some pitches, especially at Wembley here in the UK when those matches have been on.
He's picking up the ball in the 40, in the 30 now, in the 20. No. He whips it into the 10. No, he's dropped the ball. It's loose.
Please.
I'm going to be hated. No. I'm going to be hated so much. I've lost my job. It's gone.
It's that was no John Madden, I'll tell you right now. Luca Dean trying to find the space, finds Griezmann, but defense is able to do something about it. As we see a little bit of ragdoll physics for Virgil van Dijk. Wijnaldum trying to make the defensive play. In the end, it is the big Dutchman who's able to take the ball back upfield. Now a chance to counterattack, potentially chance for a goal in the dying seconds of this first game for Niagara.
Indeed, here comes Salah. Maybe a chance for Manhattan to get an attack off. Whipped in towards the back post. And this is the problem. Handles is looking for that cross way too often. Run it into the box. Cut inside. Look for a pass in the box or on the out edge of the box. Bring it in the box. Look for a pass. Hold it up. You don't need to just whip it in. This is why you such little possession in this game. Potentially he's given up. He's kind of like, there's no point in me trying anymore. But still, here's a chance for Roberto Firmino, and that is going to be 1 goal back. That is going to take the sting off a little bit. It's going to be a little bit of a penicillin shot kind of thing. It's going to take the edge off a little bit, but it's not going to be anything massive as we go into the second leg.
a glimmer of hope potentially there for Niagara, but that game very much so belonging to Manhattan, taking the 5-1 win in the first leg, looking very, very good going into the second leg. What does that mean for the standings? Well, basically, it means that the team that is currently in fourth looks very likely to be staying in fourth, and even will have the opportunity maybe to push towards third as well, because we saw Fairfield dropping a game earlier on.
Yep, we did indeed, but obviously the game could have been completely different if Niagara would have scored their penalty that they had just after Manhattan scored their first goal. It wasn't a penalty, but if they'd have scored it, it would have potentially been a different game. But either way, we are going to throw it to a very quick break before we get into the second leg. So go grab yourselves a quick drink, and we'll be back in a moment with the second leg of this game between Manhattan versus Niagara. Hello, ladies and done it again. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. And we've got a goal already. It's going to be France scoring very, very early on. And I don't know why it's done that, but Mbappe is celebrating on the athletics pitch. It is a goal, and it is going to be going the way of Manhattan College.
It is. It's a big, big goal that reasserts the dominance for Manhattan coming into this game, because they're just conceded before going into the second leg. So to restore that 5-goal lead now is massive for them.
It is indeed absolutely huge. But yeah, it's going to be Manhattan taking the lead. The teams switch sides in between games. It's not something I can really track because obviously we only get a limited amount of time and limited amount of feed. But there's a chance for Luca Dean will go wide. Wasn't really expecting it to go in. He's only got like 50 shooting, so...
It's a nice, solid start for Manhattan. Niagara, on the other hand, they need to make something happen pretty much instantly if they want to be able to fight back into this game, because they're in a position where they need to find a goal every 15, 20 minutes of gameplay. Well, 15 minutes of gameplay at the moment, and they're able to find one on that attack that they do regain possession round about the 30-yard line.
Yeah, but they're going to lose it once again. Niagara, unfortunately, in a losing battle currently. Chance for Mbappe. He's going to run it into the box, whips it into the area. Once again, Hedden kind of sucks on this game, so we're probably not going to see a goal there. But either way, another chance for Manhattan again, and another one comes in here, and I think that's going to be saved by Lloris's delicate areas.
Well, do what you have to for the cause. He won't be having any virtual children anytime soon, but at least Niagara aren't going to be conceding anymore just yet. They've got the opportunity to break away now. Pogba starting the French attack on the other side, somehow slipping the ball between two defenders, and now it's killing Mbappe down the other end of the pitch, taking the ball into the penalty area, waiting for the defender to come onto him, but the defence doesn't arrive, tries to pass it inside, does not take the shot on, misses the golden opportunity.
Just shoot across, either across the box or at the near post. What have you got to lose at this point? I understand you want the guaranteed goal, but look, you're not gonna win the raffle if you don't buy a ticket at the end of the day. And it's kind of like this: if you're not gonna shoot, you're not gonna get a goal.
I've just realised how much I miss raffles. We had no town fairs or anything last year because of COVID. I haven't had a raffle. But right now, there is a golden ticket purchased. He buys a ticket. He wins the bottle of wine from the town fair raffle. And it is going to be a goal for Niagara.
Yeah, there's always that one raffle you go to and you get something you really don't want. Like
always.
It's always like a bottle of I don't know, lube or some random something absolutely random. There's a chance though, Martial, he'll get his lead back. It's another goal for Manhattan. But and you try and auction it off. You're like, does anybody want this? No, nobody wants this. Okay, I'll swap it for your bar of chocolate. I'll give you a £5 and I'll give you a £5 and the bottle of lube for the chocolate. No, okay, I'm going home.
Oh dear me. Okay, well, I don't know how to follow that one up, but again, we do see Manhattan on the attack. They look to score. They look to put this game beyond any shadow of doubt, but yet again, Maurice comes in to save things, this time using his hands.
Look, I was trying to think of like a bottle of soap or something, a bottle of like hand cream. I don't know.
Don't stop digging. Just stop digging.
I can't stop. I need to explain myself. Straight down the other end, chance for Mbappe. He's got Varane to contend with, though. Is he going to be able to get past him? No, he's definitely not. Cleared away by Lloris, but only as far as Griezmann. Griezmann with a shot, great save from Lloris. And, Niagara still, 5 goals down at this point?
Yes, exactly that. So they're 7-2 down on aggregate as things stand, and having hit the halfway mark in this game, it feels unlikely they're going to be able to peg things back anymore, but we'll give them an opportunity. Let's see, however, if they can defend this attack from Manhattan. First of all, they've been so good on the attack, Manhattan, but Niagara do manage to cut this one out.
They do indeed, and Niagara, we'll have to see what they can do. Obviously, it's a difficult situation for them. Obviously, they'll still be going into the playoffs, the Champions Week.
I've just received. Sometimes you get like the news flash things come up on your phone, like notifications. Just received one from Sky Sports, which says Manchester City could be eyeing Danny Ings as their replacement for Sergio Aguero, as they view him as a cheaper alternative to Erling Haaland. That's news right there. That's news.
That is breaking news. That is like that. What? Like, I'm sorry. That's ridiculous.
I'm going to call
ridiculous.
sus on that one.
Yeah,
definitely calling sus.
Whoever that reporter is, they need to get fired instantly. Like,
wow.
that's bad. No, not harsh. That's terrible. That is so bad. If it becomes
true, then they're giga big brained if they've managed to get that source.
Giga big brain, but that means Man City a really small brain, like Danny Ings instead of Haaland. Are you crazy?
I mean, only one team can get Haaland. I mean, we'll see who wins that race in a moment. Right now, it's a foot race. Sorry, that wasn't Mbappe. That was Griezmann missing out on this one. But the play is very much still in favour of Manhattan. 5-goal lead they have, and attacking possession has been very much so. There's a minute opportunity for a shot blocked out by someone in the French defence. Ben Yedder tries to win the header, but Pogba is going to come up with the ball in the end. Just going to be back and forward, coming up to half-time.
Indeed, but looks like Griezmann might get a chance to run through.
Danny Ings, though. Really, Danny Ings?
Yeah, I don't get it. Like, I do rate him. I really do rate him. But as a replacement for your star striker, no way. You've got to spend the big bucks. You've got to get Haaland. You've got to get one of these massive players. I would even say Ben Yedder. For City, honestly. They need a player that's going to score 20, 25 goals a season, and Danny Ings ain't that.
Well, I mean, he's shown that he can be exceptional as a poacher, as a striker, something that Sergio Aguero very much is considered. And this is a team like Southampton where, no disrespect to Southampton, but they are not a top-tier English football team. And he still scores 20 goals a season there, even amongst all of his injuries. So, yeah, you never know. Never really given a fair opportunity due to his injuries at Liverpool.
Yeah, but at the same time, you've got to look at it from this standpoint for City. That you're getting rid of Aguero. He's leaving, retiring. I'm not sure which one.
Well, I think it looks like he might end up at Barcelona at this rate.
Yeah, that would be a good move for him. That would be a good move for Barcelona. But you want to bring in somebody that is gonna. Oh, that's a good chance for Mbappe. Great save. You want to bring in somebody that you know is going to score those goals. And in my opinion, you're putting a big risk on Danny Ings. But then again, if he's scoring goals at Southampton and then he moves to a team where he's playing with the likes of Gundogan and Kevin De Bruyne, all these top players, who knows?
I do wonder how old Danny Ings is at the moment, because obviously Aguero's moving on mostly because he's not being offered another year of contract past whatever age he's now got to. But it doesn't feel like Danny Ings can be much younger than him. Right now it's Niagara on the attack, and they're just not quite able to find the back of the net. Nice save coming in from Lloris, forcing the ball wide for the corner. Corner comes through, but again, leads to nothing.
So Haaland's 20 years old.
Yes.
Danny Ings is 28.
28, and Aguero's about 33, 32, 33?
32.
Okay.
33
so 4 years. If Ings is arguably in his prime right now, I don't actually think it's that idiotic, though it is somewhat shocking.
It's a big shock. Obviously, Haaland, 100 mil. It's a lot of money. Chance for Coman. He's going to be running forward. Varane takes it round him. Really well played from Varane once again. Haaland's 100 million. That's a lot of money. But, how much is Ings going to cost them? Like 30 million? 35 million, maybe?
Well, yeah, I don't know. Maybe even if he's getting anywhere near the end of his contract, possibly even cheaper. Goal being scored here by Mbappe. Sorry, that was Martial. I have the 8-bit issue on my screen again.
Okay. Try leaving and joining in. That might fix it.
I could just leave in general if you wanted.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll just finish off the cast.
I'll catch you in a bit.
See you later. Have a nice rest of your evening, Stan. Right. So anyway, obviously, Danny Ings, fairly expensive. Not going to be the most expensive, but Haaland, you know what you're getting at the end of the day. Haaland is a world-class player, and he scores multiple goals in the Champions League.
I'm not George. I meant to leave the stream, but I accidentally just disconnected from Discord in total. So you were flying solo there for a moment.
Yeah, no, that's fine. No, that's what I meant. Leave the whole of Discord, and then join back, and it should fix itself.
Oh, okay. Well, things are better now. I can actually see which player's which.
Good. But yeah, Danny Ings, he's a proven goal scorer, but in Champions League, Haaland's very proven. Haaland's very young. 100 million maybe, but you got to think, if you're going to keep him for 5-6 seasons, that's not that much money per season on top of his wage.
I always felt like, because of Haaland's dad's connection to Man City, like it was a no-brainer that he would end up at Manchester City, but certainly Chelsea seem to think that they're the favourites to sign him at the moment due to the Abramovich effect.
I hate City. I hate Chelsea. Just it's like that FIFA player that spends his way to the top. Dirty pay-to-win team. Honestly, Havertz, Werner, and Ziyech all in one season. That's disgusting. That's ridiculous amounts of money they spent, and now they're looking to try and get Haaland. I'm sorry, but that is absolutely ridiculous. That's stupid. Stupid money.
Well, may happen. It may not. I guess we'll have to keep our eyes peeled with the transfer news as we get towards the end of this season. But right now, turning our attention back towards the game in hand, we have still got this huge deficit, 8-2 on aggregate. Manhattan College are favoured right now. Niagara are breaking away. Mbappe will have the opportunity to try and take the ball into the opposition penalty area, but yet again, he tries to pull back, he tries to find the pass, it's just not quite working. Luca Dean over on the other side, we've seen them go for the shots earlier on. This time, they look to set up an assist, but it's just not meant to be for Niagara tonight.
It is not meant to be, unfortunately, for them, I don't know. Niagara just haven't looked very good, I'll be honest. They've been looking for crosses. They've just looked all over the shop. They haven't really played with any sort of purpose. Obviously, coming into Champions Week, they'll want to try and fix that, as obviously all is still to play for. By the way, folks, if you did not know, there is still a lot to play for. But yeah, they just haven't looked that great.
Oh, I had a devastating realisation earlier this evening as well, George. And that is that, so next week for us in the UK, our lockdowns get eased a little bit in this pandemic situation that we're dealing with at the moment. And I'm actually able to start work for the first time next Monday in terms of my tennis coaching outside of my casting, which I'm very, very excited for. But I was also meant to have my first game of five-a-side, which I was all signed up for on Monday night as well. However, I do have a nice replacement. I do get to the joy of casting the final week of regular season with you instead.
Oh no, you're gonna have to miss your five-a-side for a couple of weeks.
I know, absolute wounder. But you know what? I'll take that for the joy of official EGF.
Wait, no, aren't the Champions Week on Fridays?
Oh, I think isn't last week of the regular season on the Monday?
Yeah, I think it is, and then they're on Fridays.
Yeah, so the last week next week, right?
Yes.
So that one I'll miss, and then I'll be okay.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
just one week. Just one
week.
But it's the first. It's the first one. You want to be in the first one.
Yeah, but what you can do is instead you can go out and do a run and do some sprint stuff, and then you're going to come back. Everybody's going to be really, really unfit, and you're going to be looking there like Superman.
I've been doing woefully for a couple of months, keeping in shape. Got to my heaviest I've ever been, and then over the last month or so, I've been trying to get back in shape. And my word, it's hard work. And that's pretty much how things are being described for Niagara right now. Manhattan making it hard work for them in this game. We've got a couple of minutes left on the clock, and it looks like things are rounded out. Perhaps Niagara can get themselves just a consolation goal to finish Kingsley Coman with the opportunity to go 1-on-1 against Hugo Lloris, looking to take it outside the keeper. Chips over his head instead. Chips it into the waiting arms of Lloris as the clock ticks over to 90. It is going to be Lloris going on a mad one.
I'm sorry, but Handles, what is going on? Like, jeez Louise. That is absolutely ridiculous.
Ridiculous or not, it is one of the last plays of the game. Final whistle will be blown by the referee in attendance, and it is going to be your lot. And that is a convincing win for Manhattan. All right, and that's 3-1 in this game, 5-1 from the first, 8-2 on aggregate. Manhattan rounding out our games on stream tonight in a stylish fashion. Definitely enjoyed that one. All right, well, we're back.
We are indeed. So, hey Stan, I got a couple of questions for you, real quick, obviously, and I wanna hear what you have to say. Stan, what's going on with you? Oh no. What is going on indeed, Stan? Oh my word, what was that? Well, ladies and gentlemen, folks of all ages, this has been EGFC, obviously Season 2, and that is all the games we have for this evening. Manhattan versus Niagara. Niagara not having a great game. Manhattan will take the lead. Obviously Fairfield versus St. John's. St. John's took the win in the end, and it was a fantastic game from Manhattan, I do have to say.
Fantastic game indeed. It's been a pleasure being with you as always. George, we're back same time next week. In fact, a little earlier next week, so we'll hopefully have all 3 games to bring you. Get those last few games of the regular season before we get to the Champions Week. Boy, that's going to be exciting too.
It is indeed. Thank you very much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Can follow Stanley Greyheart Barker over there at Greyheart99 on Twitter, and you can follow him on everything else. If you just type in Greyheart, I'm pretty sure he'll come up. And obviously, my name's been George, GNC Overton. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Hopefully, you have a lovely rest of your evenings, and we'll catch you next week.